Hello, this is Seth Peterson with Realty Executives Cooper Spransey here at our Princeton Club office on the east side. You might be able to see the pool behind me here. And just wanted to create this video so that we could connect on your time. I know everyone's busy and it's tough to get together. Maybe we have to wait 2-3 days before we can meet and go over this. And you're probably just in the mode of you want to get information on how to sell your house. What do I need to do to sell my house? And you're just trying to get that information. So I'm here to give it to you right now. I will show you step by step what I do to sell homes for top dollar and as quickly as possible. So let's dive into it. If you'd rather just stop this video and set up a time to meet with me, feel free to call or text or Facebook message me or email me. My number is 608-320-9612. My email is sethpetersonhomes@gmail.com. And if you want to check out my website, sethpetersonhomes.com. So going into it. So the first thing that we need to do is to price it right. So I know that's not actually getting it listed and marketing it, but that's probably the most important piece to all of this is pricing it correctly. And I think I've been in business now 11 years, but also the last 3-4 years I've been doing a lot of REO work. And with that comes a lot of broker price opinion and monthly marketing updates. So a ton of market analysis, basically. So I think I've gotten pretty good at figuring out what a home is worth, based on the comparable properties. And that's the best way to find out what your house is going to sell for, is to see what other homes in your area, similar homes in your area, have sold for over the past 6 months. If we need to, we'll go back 12 months. Certain areas are certainly easier to find comps than other areas. But that's the first thing, and probably the most important thing we're going to do is we're going to price your home correctly. So I'll do the research. I'll show you the comps I looked at, show you how I got to that point. We'll consider the market, seller's market or buyer's market, what's going on, what are we actively going to be competing with. So I will look at all that, I'll share that information with you, and then we'll make a decision what to list the house at. And you're ultimately going to decide. I'll give you my opinion, I'll show you how I got there, but you can, it's your house, you're the one making the decisions. So I'm going to give you as much information as I can so that you can make a good, confident decision, and I'll give you my opinion on things. But that's step one. Step two would be focusing on the condition of the property. And the price and the condition are going to go hand in hand. So if you're about to make a bunch of improvements, we're going to need to obviously consider that in figuring out what the asking price is going to be and what the house might sell for. So we're going to, step one and step two, we're going to kind of go hand in hand. But a big part of that condition aspect is I'm going to walk through the house and I'll give you advice and point out any obvious things that definitely should be done to get the house sold, at the price that we're looking for and quickly. So I'm more focusing on minor things that you can easily do without not completely renovating a kitchen, for example. But if that's highly suggested, I'll tell that to you. But we're really looking for things like what wall should we paint, and the small, you should probably replace the carpet in this room. It's pretty bad, or whatever the case might be. In addition to that, I'm going to have you meet with a professional stager, and I'll cover that cost. It's no cost to you, and this is important because we want to get the house in the best showing condition as possible. And again, part of that is stuff for free or for really cheap. Moving furniture around. Replacing a mirror here and there, kind of small things that just really improve the showing quality. And then some things might be more like you really should replace this bathtub or shower surround, or maybe they're a little bit more involved. And you are ultimately, again, deciding on what you're going to do. Like I said, I'll give you the advice and my opinion as about things. But if you don't want to do anything, you don't have to. And again, the price and the condition are going to reflect each other. So if we're selling it as is, maybe the price is a little bit lower. If you're doing every possible improvement and tidying up type of thing, maybe we can ask a little bit more. So I'll be with you, and again, we'll have a professional stager meet with you to help with that process as well. So once we have that down and we've made the improvements and decluttered the home and done all that stuff, then we're ready for pictures. I'm going to hire a professional photographer. I know iPhones are great cameras, and all the smartphones have great cameras now, but I'm not going to be showing up just kind of taking pictures on my phone. I will hire a professional and have them do it. The lighting's going to be better. The pictures are a lot better. And as you probably know, everyone's online these days, so we want to make sure that it's looking as good as possible online. So we'll have professional pictures. He also will take a professional video walkthrough of your house. And while that's kind of cool, I'm not sure how many people look at it. The reason I really like it is because it really helps with our SEO and with more getting people to look at your house. So for example, on Facebook, we can post the video, and because it's a video, Facebook really likes that. Google really likes videos. I'll put it on YouTube. And because of that, it'll have more exposure. In addition to just having that virtual tour link, and I'm sure some people really like that. So anyhow, so there's kind of twofold reason for having that walkthrough video in addition to the professional pictures. So once we have that, we're ready to put it on the market. And the way I do it is I like to list it on a Tuesday to have an open house on that Sunday and no showings until the open house. The reason for that is I like to, I guess, two reasons. One is I can market the property before we have showings. So there's a few days there from Tuesday to Sunday that I can market it, and we can kind of build up interest. And that Sunday, ideally, is going to be a busy day. Maybe it's a busy open house. Maybe it's an open house and a couple of showings afterwards. Whatever it may be, ideally we have a busy Sunday of showings. And if one of those people wants to write an offer, they might feel a little bit more pressure to write a good offer if they know that there's 6 other showings, or maybe they were at the open house and it was a really busy open house. So that's one reason. The second reason is I think it's really convenient for you. If we list it, a bunch of buyers kind of see that it pops up on their search that they might have set up on the MLS or on Zillow or whatever website they're looking at. So that pops up, and it's a new house that fits what they're looking for, so they want to schedule a time to see it. And it's convenient for you if you say, no showings for a few days, so everyone's going to be lining up their showings for probably that Sunday, or they're just going to go to the open house. So it just kind of saves you some time. It's a little bit inconvenient and kind of annoying to deal with showings because you have to leave the house and make sure it's looking perfect. And they're usually a 1 hour time frame for those showings. So rather than having, let's say 5 showings between the Tuesday and Sunday, those are all just kind of pushed back to Sunday, and people are probably just planning to go to the open house. So that it's just more convenient for you. After that, of course, you're going to be dealing with showings, but at least for that first week, it's going to help out a little bit. So moving on from that, there's kind of 3 elements to the marketing: traditional, internet, and social marketing. So the traditional marketing, most realtors are doing, and that's, we're going to put a sign in your yard. We're doing that open house. I will, do some networking within my office. We have a board, and we talk each month. We add to that board as to what buyers we have and what listings we have coming up. So I might be able to connect some people in my office that might have a buyer looking for your type of home. So the traditional stuff, for sure we're going to do. I'm sure most realtors do that kind of stuff. Secondly is the internet marketing, and this is, obviously we're going to get it on the MLS. We're going to get it on Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, a bunch of different websites, Craigslist, and all that stuff. So it's going to be out there. I think a lot of realtors are doing that as well. It's kind of obvious at this point to do that. So we certainly are going to be doing that. We have a strong presence on Zillow and Realtor.com and things like that. The thing with Zillow, too, that actually is pretty new and not a lot of realtors know about it, is I will go and do a video walkthrough, and I have to do it through the Zillow app. So maybe during the open house right beforehand, I will walk through the house and get that walkthrough video onto Zillow. So that I actually do on my phone, but I have to. That's the only way they allow you to do it. So, and again, the quality of that isn't even that important. What it does is it gets you to the top of the list with Zillow's search. So if someone's searching your zip code, your house will show up on like the first page or second page rather than the 10th or 15th page. So that's the reason to do that. And actually, sometimes I actually kind of like to wait a week or two because we're going to have a ton of interest initially, no matter what. And then if unfortunately we don't sell it right away, then we can do the Zillow video, and it'll kind of bring it back up to the top of Zillow's, again, to like the first or second page of people searching that zip code. So that's kind of a newer element of the internet marketing that not everybody is doing. The third element is that social marketing, and surprisingly, not many realtors are doing this right now, or certainly not effectively. And it's really mainly Facebook. And I'll just share a few stats with you here. So over 1 billion daily active users on Facebook. That's pretty ridiculous. 91% of millennials use it. The average user spends over 20 minutes a day. The average user is on there for 20 minutes a day or longer, which, so they're not just popping on for 30 seconds or a minute. They're on there, they're looking at their news feed, scrolling down. And so that's a good stat just to show that the advertising on Facebook can be really effective. A couple more here. 75% of all internet users use social media. And I didn't share this with you earlier, that over 90% of buyers are online. And I guess that's probably obvious, but almost every buyer is looking on Zillow and Realtor.com and whatever else, looking at the pictures of the homes, and whether they're casually interested or very interested to buy a house right now, people are online looking at the houses. So again, that's why we want it to look as good as possible. But also why it's great to put it on Facebook. So what I can do is I have a business fan page on there, obviously, and I'll post your listing, I'll post the video, I'll post the open house event, and we're going to market those things. We're going to boost those posts, and I'm going to get for sure at least 10,000 engagement, 10,000 people looking at that post. And the awesome thing about Facebook is that I can specifically target the kinds of people who are looking to buy in your neighborhood. We can go by age, we can go by salary, and we can also list a ton of different keywords to target people who are currently looking to buy a house. So we're going to weed out a bunch of people who just aren't possible buyers and really focus our advertisements and boosting these posts to the people who matter to us. So one person put it this way: it's kind of like having a billboard, and a typical billboard, everyone's driving by and it's hitting like 5% of their target audience. We can have a billboard like just to the people that are looking for houses like in your price range, kind of a neighborhood. So it's a super effective target marketing that we can do on Facebook. And like I said, we get a lot of impressions, a lot of people looking at those. We get engagement with people kind of telling their friends to check out this house. So it's a great way to get a lot of exposure. And again, by doing that initially before we have that open house, we can get market that open house and get more people to it. So it's just a great way to get exposure. So those are kind of the three elements of the marketing that we do. There's also some out-of-the-box things I'm totally open to doing. One that I actually sold my house a few years ago was doing a rent-to-own campaign where we target people who are thinking that they want to do rent-to-own. And once you talk to these people, some of them totally have money, some of them can easily get a mortgage loan, and they just don't realize it. So it's a way for us to interact with those buyers directly. These people typically don't have realtors, and they kind of need to get walk through the process with them. So also some of them need to do rent to own, but maybe just for like 3-4 months. So it's just a great campaign really for vacant homes. If you don't have a vacant house, it's probably not going to work for those people who need to do that short-term rent to own. But again, it can work. I've done it more than once. I sold my house that way, where they were in the house for 4 months. They paid, quote unquote rent for that time. Some of that rent went back to them. for their down payment. So again, we're open to innovative and out of the box ways. Whatever we can do to sell your house, like that's what we want to do. All right. So that's kind of the main elements to the marketing program, and you can see something that we do that a lot of realtors don't is that Facebook marketing, and really take that to the next level. And I'm a part of a group of realtors nationally where we have experts, telling us how to effectively market on Facebook. And as things change, they're there testing things out and telling us what works and what doesn't work. So as we go along with the internet and these digital things, things change quickly. So I am a part of that group that can kind of key in on these things early on as things are changing. So I guess the other thing to mention is just that I like to be transparent and communicate with you. So we do have it set up where you can see some of these statistics, like how many people are viewing the home on Zillow and how many on these other websites through ListHub. I can share that information with you. On Facebook, I can share with you, how many impressions we're getting and so forth. So I like to be transparent about what's going on. I like to communicate and just be on a team with you. Again, like I said before, where I'm going to give you information and I'm going to help you make confident and knowledgeable decisions. But you're the seller, so you're ultimately going to decide, what's going to happen here. But ideally, we're on a team and we're working together, to achieve the same goal, which is to sell your house quickly and for top dollar. So that's about it for now. Definitely feel free to contact me. Any questions you have, and also if you want to move forward, you can just fill out the form. There should be a link attached to this form, so just follow that link. You're going to have to fill out your information, like contact information, a little bit about your house and so forth. So do that, or just email, call, text, Facebook message me, get a hold of me somehow. I think it's pretty easy to do that. But my number is 608-320-9612. Email address sethpetersonhomes@gmail.com. So thank you so much for listening to this. I don't know how long it was, 5-10 minutes. But yeah, I appreciate it. I hope it was helpful and that it saved you some time. And again, next step, if you have any questions, whatever, just let me know and we can go from there. All right, thanks. Bye.